What's going on, guys? Welcome to College Football Pick'em Week 9. I got Josh back in here with me again this week, and we're going to bring you four ranked matchups this week, which should all be some pretty good games. So let's jump right into it. The first game is number 2 Florida at number 10 Georgia. Well, I'm really impressed with Florida's quarterback Jeff Driscoll and also their running back Mike Gillislee. I've been talking a little bit about them each week, and they've just been absolutely great for this Florida team the whole year. But if you think about their defense, they just straight up beasted against South Carolina. They just blew them out of the water. I wasn't expecting that at all. I think if Georgia can find a way to win this, they're right back in the picture for the SEC East title and could be headed straight to Atlanta to play for the SEC championship for the second straight year. I think Georgia has a really good team again, but I don't see them beating the Florida Gators. It could be a good game to watch, and I'm definitely going to be checking it out this Saturday. But I'm going to say the Florida Gators win, and they also win the SEC East to play for the conference championship.
Yeah, well, they're playing at the Swamp. It's going to be loud in there, and I don't see Georgia being able to beat Florida, especially with the performance they did last week. If that carries over, I know Will Muschamp's big on defense and special teams, and it showed last week against South Carolina. I thought South Carolina's offense was overrated. I've never thought Connor Shaw was good, especially when he goes against a good defense. So I believe Florida should beat Georgia in this one.
And they're playing at Georgia, by the way.
Oh, they're playing at Georgia.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it say Florida at Georgia? It says Florida versus Georgia on ESPN.
I don't know.
Okay, well, if they're playing at Georgia, it still doesn't matter. Florida's going to win.
Actually, I think they are playing at Florida. It doesn't matter either way. Florida's going to win the game. Are we both in agreement with that?
Yes, we're both in agreement with that.
All right, moving right along. Number 14, Texas Tech at number 3, Kansas State. Well, first of all, Tommy Tuberville has been doing a great job these last couple of years at Texas Tech. They have some awesome wins this season. They even handed West Virginia their first loss, and they also ended their national championship title hopes when they beat TCU this past weekend in three overtimes with a final score of 56-53. Like I said, they ended West Virginia's national championship hopes, and they got a good three overtime victory over TCU. And it kind of makes you wonder if things don't turn around in Auburn, if they give Gene Chizik the boot at the end of this year, and maybe call back their old coach Tommy T back to Auburn.
I
But
knew it was
anyways,
coming.
anyways, guys, I'm gonna talk a little bit about this upcoming matchup. I think Kansas State has a really good offense, and they're just going to pound away at Texas Tech's defense because, really, like I said, they let TCU score 53 points on them. So it only makes you wonder what the number 3 team in the country will do this weekend. Texas Tech definitely scores points, though, and will put up a fight. Kansas State wins.
Overrated. Over. Oh, wait, what? What, we're doing a commentary still? All right, well, Texas Tech, I'm going to pick the upset in this one. Texas Tech is going to win at Kansas State.
Oh, so do you think Auburn might have a new coach?
They might. They just might. Tommy Tuberville has beaten top five teams and like almost every year he's been at Texas Tech. So here it comes. Here comes another one.
All right, Josh calling for the big upset right there. All right, guys, next game, number 5, Notre Dame at number 8, Oklahoma. Well, I know if you ask Lou Holtz who the best team in the country is, he won't hesitate to say Notre Dame. Lou is a pretty nice guy and all. I met him in New Orleans at the Alabama LSU National Championship, and I got to talk to him for a minute and got my picture made with him. So I actually have an argument with him to make about Notre Dame being a legit contender this season. They just barely did have enough in the tank to slide past Purdue, much like Ohio State did this past weekend, Ryan. Stanford actually scored on the last play of overtime against them and what should have tied the game and sent it to a second overtime. Um, that was more clear to me than the ending of the Packers and Seahawks game earlier this season. And they just barely did edge it out against Brigham Young this past weekend. I will say this about Notre Dame, though. If they beat Oklahoma this weekend, I'll start believing that they could be legit contenders. But Oklahoma is known to choke every year, so this game is definitely going to be a good one. But I'm picking the Sooners to win it, actually, and upset in Notre Dame.
I wouldn't call this an upset because to me Notre Dame has not played a top competition yet. Yes, Stanford beat USC. Okay, okay, and USC also has a terrible offensive line, and Notre Dame's been doing really good on defense this year, but I don't think their offense is as good as what people think. And they're going to play a high-powered offense this week in Oklahoma, so I'm going to go with Oklahoma in this one.
All right, guys, and now for our game of the week, which is going to be number 11, Mississippi State, traveling to number 1, Alabama. This could easily be one of the best Mississippi State and Alabama matchups I have ever seen. I'm really loving that both of these teams are undefeated coming into this game. And a lot of people don't credit Mississippi State as being a good football team just because they haven't played a ranked opponent yet on their schedule. Um, Ranked opponents or not, they have a tremendous defense, and maybe it's due to not playing any ranked opponents and just padding stats. But this week, they start their 3-week stretch of ranked games and a remaining schedule of 5 games that are against SEC opponents. I really love the way Alabama played last week at Tennessee. I honestly believe that it was the best game I've seen Tennessee play so far this year. They're not as bad as some people make them out to be. They did put up a really great fight, but Alabama pulled away at the end of the game. I just hope we keep everyone healthy in this ball game. That's what's most important to Alabama. And if we just take it one play at a time and don't be looking at other games on the schedule, we should be all right. This should be a pretty good game. Alabama wins. Roll Tide.
Yeah, well, we already know that mine and London's favorite team is Alabama, so we could be a little bit biased in this pick. But still, I haven't seen Mississippi State play anyone good yet, and I haven't seen Alabama play anyone good yet. So I think it's going to be a true test for both of these teams. Alabama's a 24-point favorite, but I think the game could be a little bit closer than that. Mississippi State played them tough last year, and they always play Alabama tough. And I think Mississippi State, a lot of people are saying the reason why Mississippi State has not or the reason why they're not going with Mississippi State in this one is because they almost lost to Troy. But I think they were just overlooking Troy, and I think this is going to be a close game. But Alabama still wins by about, I'd say, 2 touchdowns. So Alabama in this one.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up our Week 9 college football picks. And just a reminder to go back and check out Ryan and Josh's NFL Pick'em. And a reminder, guys, to check out mine and Chase's NFL Pick'em. And maybe Chase is coming out with a Cowboys preview. If he doesn't, don't worry about it. He'll have one up sometime this season, I'm sure, since that's his favorite team. So until next time, guys, Roll Tide.